Hey guys, my name is Atlas, and today we are reading fairy tales in a very soft voice. The fairy tale in particular we are reading today is an English fairy tale that I'm sure we all know one version of or another. The Three Little Pigs, or rather the story of the Three Little Pigs. And I'm sure, because this is a slightly earlier version, that there will be some inconsistencies with the modern, I'm sure, homogenized version that goes around these days. So let's have a read. I'm sure it'll be completely bizarre. So, the story of the Three Little Pigs by, well, I'm not sure if it's actually by, but at least compiled by Joseph Jacobs. Once upon a time, when pigs spoke rhyme, and monkeys chewed tobacco, and hens took snuff to make them tough. What snuff? Are these hens just doing lines of drugs? in order that they seem sort of cool to their other hen mates? Kids, don't do snuff. Bad hens. And ducks went quack, 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 oh. Why do they do that? Quack, 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 oh. Bizarre ducks. Okay. There was an old sow with 3 little pigs. And as she had not enough to keep them, she sent them out to seek their fortunes. The first that went off met a man with a bundle of straw and said to him, "Please, man, give me that straw to build a house." Which the man did, and the little pig built a house with it. Is that what the old sow said to do? I thought she said to seek their fortunes. I guess fortunes probably mean not just money, but to, seek their new life. Okay, cool. He's built a house. Very good. Presently, along came a wolf and knocked at the door and said, little pig, let me come in." To which the pig answered, "No, no, by the hair of my chinny chin chin." That's slightly different from the phrase we know, but hey-ho, rolling with it. And then the wolf answered to that, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." Feel free to say the words along at home. So he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew his house in, and ate up the little pig. These days, do the pigs die? I thought they sort of ran along to the next house. Okay, one pig's been killed so far. We're one pig down. The second little pig met a man with a bundle of furs and said, "Please, man, give me that furs to build a house." There's furs sticks, let's say, yes. Which the man did, and the pig built his house. And then along came the wolf and said, little pig, let me come in." "No, no, by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." So he huffed, and he puffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and at last he blew the house down, and he ate up the little pig. The third little pig met a man with a load of bricks and said, "Please, man, give me those bricks to build a house with." So the man gave him the bricks, and he built his house with them. So the wolf came, and as he did to the other little pigs, he said, little pig, let me come in." No, no, by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in. Well, he huffed and he puffed, and he huffed and he puffed, and he huffed and he puffed, but he could not get the house down. When he found that he could not, with all of his huffing and puffing, blow the house down, he said, "Little pig, I know where there is a nice field of turnips." "Where?" said the little pig. "Oh, in Mr. Smith's home field. And if you will be ready tomorrow morning, I will call for you, and we will go together and get some for dinner." What a nice offer. "Very well," said the little pig. "I will be ready. What time do you mean to go?" "Oh, at around 6 o'clock. Well, the little pig got up at 5 and got the turnips before the wolf came, which he did at about 6. And who said, "Little pig, are you ready?" And the little pig said, "Ready. I have been and come back again and got a nice pot full for dinner." The wolf felt very angry at this, understandably, but thought that he would be up to the little pig somehow or another, so said, "Little pig, I know where there is a nice apple tree." "Where?" said the pig. "Down in Merry Garden," replied the wolf. "And, if you will not deceive me, I will come for you at 5 o'clock tomorrow and get some apples." Well, the little pig bustled up the next morning at 4 o'clock and went off for the apples, hoping to get back before the wolf came. But he had further to go and had to climb a tree, so that just as he was coming down from it, he saw the wolf coming, which, as you may suppose, frightened him very much. When the wolf came up, he said, "Little pig, what? Are you here before me? Are they nice apples?" "Yes, very," said the little pig. "I will throw you down one." And he threw it so far that, while the wolf was gone to pick it up, the little pig jumped down and ran home. That must have been quite a far throw for a pig, but there you go. The next day, the wolf came again and said to the little pig, "Little pig, there is a fair at Shanklin this afternoon. Will you go?" "Oh, yes," said the pig. "I will go. What time will you be ready?" "At 3, said the wolf. So the little pig went off before the time as usual and got to the fair and bought a butter churn, which he was going home with, when he saw the wolf coming. Then he could not tell what to do, so he got into the churn to hide, and by doing so turned it around, and it rolled down the hill with the pig in it, which frightened the wolf so much that he ran home without going to the fair. He went to the little pig's house and told them how frightened he had been by a great round thing which came down the hill past him. Then the little pig said, "Ah, I frightened you then. I had been to the fair and bought a butter churn, and when I saw you, I got into it and rolled down the hill. Like a badass." Then the wolf was very angry indeed, and declared he would eat up the little pig, and that he would get down the chimney after him. When the little pig saw what he was about, he hung on the pot full of water and made up a blazing fire, and just as the wolf was coming down, took off the cover, and in fell the wolf. So the little pig put on the cover again in an instant, boiled him up, and ate him for supper, and lived happily ever after. Let's try that again. And lived happy ever afterwards. The end. It must have been a very tall house if the wolf took that long to get up it, that the pig had time to boil the water. Anyway, that was great. I don't really know the consequence of the butter churn thing, really. That bit could have been happily cut. But hey, I'm glad the third pig's alive. Not so happy that, of course, 2 other pigs had to die. But hey, there you go. Who knew that after the brick house, little pig, there was a whole fair component to that story? I am the wiser. Okay, thank you so much for joining me with that story. And if you liked that, I read many, many more stories on my channel, some incredibly dark and hilarious. So, yeah, hope you have a great day. Cheers.